So let's jump right in. And we're going to be discussing medium responder hands, that being when responder has support for opener's suit. We discussed that in the video about simple raises. We're going to be doing something a little bit different here. This is for medium hands, those in the 10 to 12 point support range. And we're going to be introducing some new concepts. We'll start out with those, and they are the definitions of limit in a bridge context. It's a fundamental principle of bridge bidding that whoever can limit his hand both to strength and to level of the fit, if there is one, should do so as quickly as possible. Now here's where it starts to get tricky. While you are limiting your strength range, you should also try to bid to the level of your presumed trump fit. Someone figured out a corollary to the law of total tricks, which basically says that whatever the level of your fit is, 8, 9, or 10 tricks or more, you're safe at the level corresponding to that. So for example, at the 2 level, you should have about 8 total tricks, in other words, an 8 card fit. At the 3 level, a 9 card fit between the 2 hands, you and opener. And at the 4 level, a 10 card fit is usually pretty safe. Correction, where I said tricks, I meant trumps. Begin by looking at a situation that was a bit too advanced for the video that we made on simple raises, but it's still along those same lines. Let's assume in this case your partner north has opened a spade and your right hand opponent has passed. You look at your hand and you have exactly 3 high card points and only 2 spades. So in both respects, you do not have sufficient values to respond, and if you could respond, you certainly couldn't respond in spades. But in this case, the only thing for you to do, because you have a sub-minimum hand that cannot actually respond with anything positive, is simply pass. Had your left-hand opponent chosen to pass, your partner would not have had another chance to bid because the auction would be over and he would be declaring 1 spade. But in this case, your left-hand opponent chose to double, giving north another opportunity to bid, and he is choosing to do so by bidding 2 hearts, showing a second suit. In this case, he's promising at least 4 hearts, and after that double, I would expect he's probably got 5. We'll see. So now, being off the hook, your right-hand opponent is not required to bid after the double and chooses to pass, and it's your turn. What to do? Well, in this particular case, you still have the values of a queen and a jack being 3. You're not at all happy about 2 hearts, and you're not at all happy about 2 spades, and you certainly don't want to bid 2 no trump. That would be egregious error. But in this case, you do have a preference. You would rather that your partner play in spades than in hearts. So in this case, you're going to bid 2 spades, telling your partner that you prefer spades to hearts. Notice you are not promising any values, and you are not promising 3 spades. You're just saying, partner, if you're going to play this hand, I'd much rather you play it in spades than in hearts, and I don't have anything else to say than that. Okay? We're not going to worry about where the auction goes from here. Just wanted to show you what a preference looks like. Let's look at our first medium range hand. Here partner is open to heart. Our right hand opponent has passed, although at this level it doesn't make any difference. Whether he bids, doubles, or passes, we're going to do the same thing. Only at the beginner level now. It's going to change when we get to the intermediate level, or the yellow belt, if you will, level. Here you're a white belt. Matter of fact, you're still needing help figuring how to knot that belt. That's the analogy that we use, a karate analogy, in this channel. White belt is beginner level. So anyway, here you are with partner bidding a heart. Do you have support? Yes, you have 3 card support for partner. That's sufficient to make sure that your partner knows that you want hearts to be trumps. You also have some values. You have 4 points in spades, 4 in hearts, that's 8, and 3 in clubs, that's 11. So are you between the 10 to 12 medium range for this bid? Yes. So how do you tell partner that you have that range and not just the simple range in support, which was 6 to 9, and you don't have more? Well, you make what's called a limit raise. Yes, the 1 spade, 2 spade, or 1 heart, 2 heart bid was also limited, 6 to 9. But just like in karate or in boxing, there's a difference between a jab and a punch. There's a difference between a simple raise and a limit raise in bridge. Both kind of look the same, but one's stronger than the other. And then there's another range, the maximum or maximum plus range, looks kind of the same. You're still sticking out your hand, but in the latter case, it's a haymaker, not just a punch. And we'll get to that in the next video. So with that in mind, what are we going to do to show partner that you have this limit raise, this medium hand in support? Well, jump a level. So here, instead of bidding 2 hearts, we bid 3. Partner, hearts are going to be trump, please. And I have 10 to 12 in support of that suit. In this case, in high card points. Do what you want, partner, from here. Okay, let's look at the next example. Okay, what are we going to do here? Looks like North is dealer again, and once again decides to open 1 heart. East again passes. And it's your turn. Has anything changed in terms of our requirements? Nope. You still have to support with support, and that means if you have 3 or more hearts, you want to let partner know. In this case, you've got 4, which are, if you recall from the minimum lesson, the simple raise lesson, 4 card support for a major is called primary support. In this case, you have primary support. So you definitely want hearts to be trump, and you need to tell that your partner that that's the case. Do you have simple raise values? Well, let's see. We have 4 and 3 is 7. That would be simple raise. 8, 9, 10. Oh my goodness, that's more than a simple raise. It's a limit raise. It's not good enough for a maximum raise. It's a medium range raise, a limit raise. So we're going to say, partner, I like hearts. I want them to be trump. And by the way, I'm limited to 12 points, and I have at least 10. do what you want. Let's take a look at another deal. In this case, West is the dealer and chooses to pass. By the way, I'm looking at another machine here. It takes 2 machines for me to do this. So when I look down, I'm looking at my phone. In this case, partner deals and opens one diamond. Aha. East decides to pass. Now let's look at this situation. Partner has opened in a minor. Our rules remain the same. You can't support a minor immediately if you have a major suit of 4 cards or longer. Is that the case here? Well, I only have 1 card in spades and 3 cards in hearts. So I've passed that hurdle. I don't have a 4-card major. Do I have at least 4 diamonds? Yes. Now let's look at so basically let's go back a moment. Since I have 4 diamonds and partner has opened a diamond and it's always presumed to be 4 or more, remember from our earlier video, the chances that partner has opened a 3-card diamond suit are less than 1%. So always presume when partner opens a diamond it's 4 or more. That one is worth repeating. Want me to say it again? Nah. So now let's look at our point count. We have 4 points for the Ace of Hearts, plus 3 is 7 in the King of Clubs, and we have also the King of Diamonds, 8, 9, 10. So do we have at least 10 to 12, but no more in support of North? You betcha. In this case, they're all high card points. So you need to tell your partner that that's the case. And you do that the same way we did it in the major, by jumping a level in partner's suit. So we go to 3 diamonds. Partner, I want diamonds to be trump. I'm not interested in a major. And as an aside, I'm really not interested too much in no trump, but I can tolerate it if that's what you want to do. And I have 10 to 12 points in support of your diamonds. In this case, I have high card points. We'll deal with the differences when we get to the yellow belt level. For right now, you simply bid 3 diamonds, indicating that you have at least 4 diamonds and 10 to 12 high card points. And it's up to partner whatever he wants to do next. You've said your piece. By the way, once you have limited your hand, your partner becomes captain of the auction. So in this case, it went 1 diamond. I'm opening in diamonds. 3 diamonds. I have 4 diamonds or more. I don't have a 4-card major. I don't have an immediate no trump bid. And I would like diamonds to be trump if you wish. And you are now captain. I will not bid again unless you tell me to. That's what that bid said. Your partner is captain. Now, there are people who will never make this kind of bid because they don't want to transfer the captaincy to their partner. We call those people hand hogs. Please don't be a hand hog. Limit your hand and let your partner be captain when it's appropriate. In this case, that's exactly what you do. So remembering that there will be other ways to do things as we progress in our level of understanding of the game of bridge and the bidding process, you're still a white belt, still beginner, novice, whatever your teacher decides he or she wishes to call it. You're new. So we're going to follow the same logic that we followed with the simple raise. We're going to ignore the overcall of one spade and make the bid we would have made had it not occurred and right-hand opponent had passed. We're going to bid 3 hearts, our jump, to say, partner, I have a limit raise in hearts for you. And that's the extent of what I have to say. I will probably not bid again unless you ask me to. It's possible I might compete, but don't count on it. Here's the whole hand. By the way, this is actually a deal. The 13 cards that you were looking at before is your hand. All 4 hands constitute a deal, but a lot of people just call the thing a hand, so don't worry about it too much. I just thought I'd let you know the proper terminology, just because I wanted to. Anyway, you can see where your partner had the values to open a heart. Very nice 1 heart bid. And your right hand opponent has the value. Ace King is 4 and 3 or 7, 8, 9, 10 for the Queen Jack of clubs, 11, 12, and 13 for the Queen Jack of spades. So it's a nice 13 count. And 5 spades to the Queen Jack 10, 8. Not too bad. But personally, I don't like this overcall. I like to have King, Queen, 5th or better in the suit I'm overcalling. Please know that's very old-fashioned. What you're going to see most of the time are people who either have a good suit or a good hand. The good suit is the King, Queen, 10, 5th or better that I was talking about. The good hand is 12 plus high card points. If they have a good hand and a 5-card major that can be overcalled at the 1 level, they're most likely going to do it, regardless of the quality of the suit. Again, not my preference, but I have had a pro sitting across from me when I hired him to play with me, and he got mad because I expected him to have King, Queen, 10, 5th or better for his overcall, and said so. He said, oh no. So understand that bidding is an art, it's not a science, and different people do things different ways. Just wanted to point that out to you. This deal, your partner has opened the bidding in second seat. Your right hand opponent has intruded with a double, showing 4 spades and an opening hand in support of spades or any other suit besides heart. What to do? Well, we're going to follow our same rule that we followed with the overcall and ignore the double and simply show partner our support. In this case, primary support, and our values. In this case, we have the Queen of Hearts is 2, the King Jack of clubs is 4 more, so 6, and 5 for the King Queen of diamonds, and that makes a total of 11. So you have 11 in support of hearts. In this case, we're talking high card points. And we're going to go ahead and make our normal jump bid just as though the double had not occurred. I'm going to show you all 4 hands now. Notice what we've told partner is, I have a limit raise for you in hearts. Do what you want. In this case, it's going to depend on whether or not West decides to bid 3 spades. to support his partner. Some players will, some players won't. But the auction, in terms of your call, is over unless your partner asks you to bid again. Here's another deal. This time you are the dealer. Would you open with that hand? I wouldn't. And our left-hand opponent is also going to pass. Now our partner is going to open with one spade. Hey, a different suit than hearts. All right. Our right-hand opponent is going to make another double. This is for takeout. Your turn. Well, let's see. What's our rule? If we have support, we should show it. And we do. We have 3-card support this time. We're not going to differentiate at this skill level 3-card from 4-card support. Support is support as far as we're concerned at the moment. We're also going to ignore interference. In this case, our right-hand opponent East has intruded with a double and become the intruder. We're going to ignore it. So, do we have more than a simple raise? Let's see, 5 points for the clubs and 4 and 2, 6 points for the diamonds. That's the total of 11. Yes, we do. We have a limit raise value and we have the 3-card support, so we want to go ahead and make our limit raise. We're going to open it up so that you can see what all 4 hands look like. Maybe. There you go. So you can see that East had just about a dead solid perfect takeout double. I mean, you can't get much more perfect than that. All of his values are outside of spades, and he's got a stiff spade, 4 hearts, which he has promised, plus support for the other 2 suits. It's just lovely. Don't always expect to have this kind of takeout double or that your opponent will have this kind of takeout double. But this is pretty much textbook. All right. Well, that'll do it for this video in which we covered supporting partners opening bid suit with support, 3 cards or longer in partner suit, and a limit raise value that's 10 to 12 in support, or in this case, since we're beginners, we're counting only high card points. Next video, we'll look at what happens when instead of a jab or a punch, you've got a haymaker, which is enough values to force your auction to the game level once partner has opened the bidding. So we'll get there in just a moment.